are not going to be with Mom a lot, Dad.
I'm not. My lady just got home last night and then she's leaving again today. It's sad. It's a sad day in the neighborhood. What is it you're going to? A photography exhibit?
We're going to see my grandma.
Yeah.
Yes, then we're going to Wichita. See a Gordon Parks photography exhibit called Back to Fort Scott.
Gordon Parks.
My hometown.
Very famous photographer. So the boys are on spring break this week.
And me.
And Jer. But before that, we're gonna go to breakfast. Fanciest looking biscuits and gravy I've ever seen in my life.
It's true. Right here in historic downtown Liberty.
Alright, I've left the yahoos at the restaurant because I have to get to work. They're gonna leave before I'm home tonight. Sad face. Digging up my yard. Hey, you know what I haven't done in a while? Smart-ass and dubious answers to internet questions! If you could, would you punch Donald Trump in the face? Probably not, but I would really, really want to. Really want to. I don't know if you're like me, but my personality type, like, imagines horrible things, like doing something horrible or something socially inappropriate, and then wondering, like, what would people do if I actually did that? So, like, I have actually fantasized, like, meeting Donald Trump on the street and, like, hitting him or punching him or something like that. I'm awful. I am so awful. A couple years ago, I was driving through like the Target parking lot, and I think I had Rowan or Julian with me in the car. No, it was Simon because he was old enough to sit in the front seat. And some guy, well, like we were driving down like the lane of the parking lot, right? And somebody was like veering through like really quick, obviously not paying attention to anybody. And I slam on the brake and do the dad hand, the parent seatbelt, and I told him he was number one with one of my fingers. And I imagined like ripping the steering wheel and driving over there and dragging him out of the car and like just punching him. Any of you who are psychologists or know psychologists, if you would like to refer my case to them, you can have them send me an email at dearestlandon at gmail.com. What is your favorite fish to eat? Whatever fish does not come in fish tacos. It's that simple. Which religion has the most relevance to modern life? Okay, this is a really good question because, as you know, I'm an ordained pastor. I'm professionally religious. So you would think that my response would be Christianity. So here's my theological answer. I believe that God has called me into relationship with God through Jesus Christ, through the church. Like, I can't do anything other than this. Like, I got Jesus coming out my pores. But I think that the Christian church has done a horrible job answering the questions that modern society, is that the words, modern life, has done a horrible job answering the questions that modern life has asked. In our denomination, we talk about the good news. In fact, like we're coming up on Easter. Easter's this Sunday, and we talk about how the death and resurrection of Jesus is good news. And I think most of the time, what Christians offer is irrelevant news. Here's an example. Here's the difference between good news and irrelevant news. So if I pull into my driveway and you come running out of my house and you look at me and you're like, your son is in the backyard, I'd be like, what? Oh, okay. At that moment, that news is absolutely irrelevant to me. But if I pull up to my house and my house is on fire, and then you run up to me and you say, your son is in the backyard, that is good news, because I understand the house is on fire, my son is safe, I get it. I think that most of the time right now, most Christian-y people are offering irrelevant news rather than good news. I don't think anybody's worried about going to hell. And yet we tried to tell people, Jesus saves you from hell. Irrelevant. What I'm saying is that I think some of us are doing better than others. I certainly tried to do better than the people that I think are absolutely irrelevant. And this is the question, which religion has the most relevance to modern life? Honest to God, Zen Buddhism. Again, if I didn't have Jesus coming out my pores, I'd probably be Zen Buddhist. What is your grandfather's name? I had two grandfathers. One was named John. He's the one whose funeral that I went to really early on when I started doing this vlog. And the other one's name was Bob. Why do you admire Hitler? I gotta see what the answers are. Like, what are other people saying about this? Why do you admire Hitler? This is saying that JFK once called Hitler a genius. Is that true? Probably because he was able to bring Germany back from both severe economic conditions brought on by the reparations handed down by the Treaty of Versailles and by the added economic disaster suffered in the Great Depression, and he managed to do it in 5 years while the US and the rest of the world was still in the middle of the Great Depression. Okay, like if he actually did that, and I honestly don't know my history that well, if that's true, like I can understand why people, this is the reason why people like Donald Trump. This is the reason why people are so stoked about Donald Trump, is because he promises like economic winning. There's a really good article about this. I'm gonna link it down there. Hold on, I had some thoughts about this. Actually, I actually wrote about this the other day when I was reading the article that I'm going to link there. The supporters of Trump, aside from their fear and hatred of people of color, which is huge, that is a huge aspect of the people who support Donald Trump. So aside from that, they are basically upset that their lot in life has basically not improved at all, and they want to win. In this one particular way, I have to admit that I'm with them in this one. I'm tired of the same old shit. Like, I'm tired of the same crap. So like in Hillary Rodham Clinton, I see a very skilled political centrist. That's what I see. In Bernie Sanders, I see an idealist who can't understand why he won't be effective. Tired of hearing about your damn emails. So here's what I wrote. This is what I wrote about the Democrats and my opinions about them. Even though I voted for Hillary, I think she'll make a good president. I really do. Here's what I wrote. Frankly, I'm sad and pissed that the best we can do as Democrats is to put up a tainted boomer and an old guy who yells. Tired of hearing about your damn emails! Again, hate mail, dearestlandon@gmail.com. It's okay. Do you have a dog? No, I don't have a dog. I've never owned pets. I mean, I've got chickens, as you know. The feral chickens, the chickens that I hate. We have a fish, it's a beta. I've not always wanted a dog, but I've often wanted a dog. I would name a dog Murphy. That's what I would name the dog, and I would make sure that it's a big dog, because I don't know if you know this, but if you have a really big dog, you can ride it. Hashtag ride the dog. Charlotte or Lucille? Ooh, I'm gonna go with Charlotte on that one. Is Robert Downey Jr. actually a good actor besides playing Iron Man? I really think so. I recommend Chaplin. When he did Chaplin, that was lights out. That was just fantastic. What is your favorite 1980s movie? Favorite 1980s movie? Okay, don't laugh at me. Grease. Oh, that's not an 80s movie. It was 1978. Oh! Then I'm gonna have to go with E.T. I think that's my favorite. Yeah, E.T. It's happened again. It has happened again. There was a terrorist bombing this morning in Brussels. I guess for us in America, it was late last night. From what I can gather, it was early in the morning in Brussels. And we've said it before, horrible things and beautiful things all happen at the same time, and we're each going to respond to these things in different ways, and all of those responses are appropriate. You don't have to allow yourself to take on the weight of all the pain. I recommend that you do something about it, but you don't have to take on the weight of all the pain. And here I was just being frivolous. It's always such a disconnect for me, such a disconnect that happens. And I honestly don't know what to do about it except care and try to do what I can. So I encourage you to do what you can. Always encourage giving to the Red Cross. If there's something that happens, particularly in the United States, I recommend the Presbyterian Disaster Assistance, which is part of the church that I'm a part of. PDA is often on the scene faster than any other relief organization. So particularly if there is some horrible occurrence in the United States, you know that you can give to PDA, and it's gonna do amazing work. So I encourage you to do that. I'll put a link to PDA down in the doobly-doo. So